Hello and welcome back to another FZR video. Sorry for the wait, it's been a struggle getting Premiere to work properly. Because of this, I haven't recorded as much of the process as I would have liked. As of now, the bike is done and for sale, and I will be making a video about the final product as well as some real riding footage with sound, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I thought I would compile some of the scraps of progress I could find. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video.
So it is occurring to me that the fairings of this bike are too far gone. The windshield, all of the headlight fairing, basically destroyed. The fairings for the back and the one on the tank and everything like that, pretty good. And once these seats get recovered, that'll all flow pretty nicely, but I think we're gonna have to convert it to somewhat of a quote-unquote naked bike, which means giving this thing a facelift and taking out some of this bracketry here and that kind of stuff. Just trying to clean it up, make it look nice. Cluster meat bike. Not very happy. There is not a good way to mount this to the steering that will look well. I was thinking I was going to 3D print some pods for all of the individual gauges, but they are all in this one housing that is extremely easy to get apart, but not easy to replicate. So, I feel like the main conflicting component here are those lights. And it would be real nice if we could just take those off. So I'm thinking there's this inner bezel there, and if we just cut right along there, we should be able to get those off and remount them, well, it's down, preferably here. And then if we get those off, this should fit much nicer against that top of the steering. So I think that's the plan. We're gonna try and literally Dremel this right along that line in the least janky way possible. How's that gonna go? Probably not well, but we're gonna try. Start by saying, if you're thinking about doing this, don't. I'm doing it so you don't have to. But second of all, I don't think that turned out too bad. There's a little bit more gap than I'd like, which light will definitely leak through from those gauges, not to mention it's not watertight. So we'll have to figure out something for that. But all things considered, in the looks department, not too bad, especially if you're only going to be looking at it from that on, like you do with gauges. So that'll fit on something like that, which is much nicer than how it was before. So let's work on some mounts to somehow get this done. Because we have two mounts here and here on either side, and then no way yet to get it from the handlebar onto here. So this is what the headlight housing looked like when it came just directly out of the bike. See, we got 3 mounting tabs there. I am grinding off the tabs and putting my own on. These are just tapped out for some 10mm bolts, which I'm going to use instead. I am going to mock this up in a 3D program and print some headlight buckets for both of these so that they look okay as standalone units, basically. And they're going to mount in the buckets like a classical headlight, just with 3 screws around the perimeter. Got a little black in there, but not too worried about that. So I'm going to do the same to this guy that I did to here. Just grind off everything, mount 3 tabs, and then I am going to mock up some buckets for it, print them out, get them mounted, and we'll go from there. I plan to make the bottom one recessed a little bit, if that makes sense, like more closer to the housing than the top one, therefore you can mount the top one just a little bit behind the bottom one. I think that looks best. And then the holes for the wiring, the bottom one will come out the top and the top one will come out the bottom so that they come together. Hopefully nice and neat is the plan. And this way, by using the stock housings, whoever owns this next can just go out and get, regular old bulbs for it, hopefully, and put them in. Serviceability is a factor. You can see this one's kind of fucked up. I think I'm just going to fill that with, I don't know, probably super glue. Something clear. I just don't want any water getting in there. I don't really care about how cracked it is. I have no idea how that would happen, but this one's all good. Yeah, might clean up that blackness in there. It's not that hard. Just take out the bulb, spray some carb clean in there, wipe it down. But yeah, it's going to be fun printing out some buckets for these and getting them all mounted up. The buckets are just classically going to be held on with nuts on the inside, so you can adjust it up and down. And I'm thinking just some oval-shaped screws ports on the side of the headlight bucket will make it so you can get your, I don't know what you'd call that, yaw adjustment, like that versus that. That's the plan. Just nice, sweet, and simple. Try not to make things too complicated, as they're already complicated enough. So, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated.